Ashley, welcome to Watford.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
How excited are you to join us here?
No, delighted, obviously. A club obviously going straight back up to the Premier League. Soon as I knew of the interest, I was, let's get the deal done.
How exciting to be back in the Premier League. If you've spent a couple of years out of it, obviously at Middlesbrough. Feel like perhaps there's unfinished business for you in the top flight?
Definitely, yeah. I had a small taste of it being at West Ham, and then obviously going to Middlesbrough. Our ambition was to obviously get back there. We didn't manage it, but I feel like I've learnt a lot in the time that I've spent at Middlesbrough, and a brilliant club. But I was ready for a new challenge.
New challenge then here. When you say you heard of the interest, so what attracted you to Watford when you heard of the interest and you thought, let's get it done? Just
the club in general, I think. Listen, it's a Premier League team, and it was quite clear when we played them last year, the quality to bounce straight back up. It was brilliant to see, and as soon as I knew they were interested, I spoke with my family, spoke with my agent, and yeah, I just wanted to get the deal done.
What would you look to achieve coming here?
I want to play well, score goals. I think that's the most important thing for a striker coming in. There's a lot of good players, a lot of good strikers here that we've seen and in the Championship, and then adding to that, hopefully I can bring something different.
I mean, your stature, your height. I think we've just been discussing off camera. You're 6'5". Yeah. So naturally that'll bring something different. But what sort of attributes can you bring to complement the other strikers you've already mentioned, the likes of sort of Troy and Andre that we've got in the building?
Yeah, I think being tall, but also being mobile as well. I think I'm not just your typical target man who's tall. I'm quite quick as well, and yeah, run at players as well. Decent on the ball and want to take players on and excite the crowd. So I think that's one of my benefits and something that I'll look to try and do whilst I'm here.
Is that something when say you're tall like you are, is that something you feel you've got to prove, that you say, yeah, but I can play a bit as well? Yeah. And perhaps, people say surprise, but you want to get rid of that stereotype of I'm not just a target.
Yeah, I think when a lot of people watch me, I think they're quite surprised at how quick I am and how fluid I am moving for such a tall person. So listen, that scares defenders sometimes. It's that unpredictability can be a good weapon to have, and like I say, I can't wait to get going.
Let me take you back and a quick sort of look back at your career. How good a grounding was it at Manchester United for you?
Brilliant. Can't obviously put into words what it was like coming through an academy like that. It kind of gives you a base that you always look back to, and you take the values that you learn from that team, and that helps you through your career. So the players that are playing in the league, obviously Tom Cleverley's here as well, who's had that, Craig Cathcart, they'll tell you the same. It's the best possible start to a football career you can have.
Who were sort of the lads in your team, in your year group?
Yeah, so I had Paddy McNair, who I was with at Middlesbrough, a few players, Sean Goss, who's playing in the league, Matty Willock, James Wilson, who have all gone on to have good careers in the Football League. And sometimes it's not about making it at Man United, it's about making it as a footballer and preserving and keep playing in the league and keep moving forward. So yeah, like I say, there's a lot of players that have come through, people that you might not think have played at Man United because they never played in the first team, but have had that base.
And you did exactly that. I think whilst you were still there, you went on loan to Barnsley in League One and had a really successful period there.
Yeah, and I always look back at that was the making of me in a way in professional football, to get off to a start like I had at Barnsley on loan and get promoted and win the JPT. It was, I think I was 19 or 20 at the time. There's no better start. So yeah, again, I've got to be thankful to them as well.
How big a moment in your career, scoring the player final, I think, against Millwall.
Yeah, exactly. You always look back to that goal and gives me goosebumps. Any player who scores at Wembley in front of in a final and to win as well, it tops it off.
And I think off the back of that, then you got a big move to the Premier League and to West Ham. Tell us a bit about your time there.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it was unexpected in a way, but I took the chance and got myself into the team. played at the first half of the season, and yeah, did well. And then second half, obviously, there was a lot more experienced players who were there, who was coming back as well. So I kind of had to fight for my place as well, but I was still quite young. But the whole experience that I've had there was fantastic, and fond memories. Obviously, as a young boy, making your Premier League debut is what you dream of. So, but now I'm looking to kick on and go again.
Then Middlesbrough, 3 or 4 seasons there. So probably most successful the season before last. I think you sort of hit double figures. Yeah. In a challenging season for the club under first Jonathan Wood going and then Neil Warnock.
Yeah, it was a year of transition. I think quite a few players had left, and then there was a new philosophy of young players playing. Jonathan brought a lot of the young players through and who were playing last season as well, and they've done really well. So in terms of the league position, it was challenging, but personally for me, I played a lot of games and got, like you say, got into double figures, which was as a striker obviously very pleasing. And then obviously Neil Warnock came in, who was brilliant, kept us up, and yeah, like I say, he brings a different side of football that you need to stay in the league. So I always like to think I take a little bit of learning from different managers that I've had, and certainly with those two, I learnt a lot.
Now back in the Premier League, we've spoken about your excitement. What is it about Watford? What do you think that Watford can achieve? We're a team that we had 5 years in the Premier League. We've bounced straight back at the first time of asking. I guess with the way that COVID hit, we've only been out of the league 7 months, so we sort of think, well, it hasn't been a long transition. What do you think this team should be looking to achieve and can achieve?
I think just playing in the Premier League. I think like you see with teams that have come up from the Championship, Leeds, for example, this season, I think they're in the top half of the table. There's no reason why Watford can't do that next year. We're going to look forward to it. I think that's the main thing. I think, obviously, I don't know too much about the team at the minute, but from what I've seen coming from last season, there seems to be a good togetherness, and it's not easy getting promoted out of the Championship, and you've got to have that spirit. And from what I saw, watching the games and playing against them in the first game of the season, they seem to have that.
We didn't have fans all of last season. We've just seen them starting to come back in some of the playoff games in the last rounds of Premier League. You mentioned about sort of wanting to excite the supporters, excite the fans. What would be perhaps your first message to Watford fans about what they can expect from you?
No, listen, it's going to be brilliant for me to walk out at Vicarage Road, and I can't wait to see the fans back in the stadium. But yeah, like I say, I want to get fans off the edge of the seats, and I want to score goals and contribute to the team. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing them, hopefully exciting them, and let's have a good season next year.
Great stuff. Well, we wish you well. We look forward to seeing you.
Cheers. Thank you.